perfect way. You no longer exist, you're no longer in
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the glamorous Anjulie. What's going on, Anjulie?
Hey, hey, hey. Another Monday. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yep.
sorry. It froze on my end. But yeah, another Monday, another recap going on.
And welcome, Entertain. Thank you for joining us. Today we'll be talking about Elimination Chamber, the first of many future. I don't know if it's actually, well, not really the first, but the first like in this era of foreign pay-per-views. Not we don't count we don't count the Saudi ones, or at least Alicia doesn't. Um, but yeah, they're gonna start this trend now, I guess, because like I think I forgot which one it is, but the next foreign one is gonna be in France. I forgot which one that was. Maybe Backlash or something, but that's gonna be in France coming up. And this is all leading up to having maybe a WrestleMania in either England or Australia or somewhere else, maybe India, who knows? But yeah, welcome Will as well. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so this is tell me what you thought about the pay per view. Without giving away your reaction, and all that. What'd you think before, like going into it? What'd you think?
Excited for the PLE because one, I knew it was a big deal with it being in Australia, and so I knew the vibe was going to be like just alive with the crowd. I don't think I was wrong about that part, and I I must say I think the matches were on paper they were pretty exciting to see how things pan out as we're on a little pit stop here in the Elimination Chamber on the road to WrestleMania. Grabbing all your snacks, going to the bathroom before we get back on the road. So I think it was a really good setup as we put things in motion for the WrestleMania card.
See, for me, I had the opposite reaction. I thought this was like a very weak card. I was like, wow, they're like, they're making a big deal about having a pay per view outside of America. They're gonna give them this like weak ass card. I mean, Elimination Chamber is cool itself, but like other than that, the main event, well, we didn't know what the main event was gonna be until they announced it like the night before, I believe. But they said they're gonna finish it with Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, which I don't feel that's like an NXT main event in my opinion, not really a WWE main event for a pay per view. So I thought it was like a really weak card. I wasn't really looking forward to any of the matches when we were discussing about how to split the matches. Especially like the tag team championships against people who don't. I've never seen them as a tag team before. I'm like, where did this come from? So for me, I was just very down. I'm like, this is probably the weakest Road to WrestleMania I've ever seen in the history of Road to WrestleManias. Even like, I don't think I give Royal Rumble that good of a rating either. So this is probably like one of the weakest Road to WrestleManias I've ever seen, and like WrestleMania itself so far is looking very weak to me too. I don't think there's any matches I'm excited for this year yet. So I guess we'll see because
Only it hasn't only like technically one, two, three main. I guess there's four
five, like
matches.
pretty much five matches have been pretty much
Now
made.
officially announced.
Four officially announced, and I'm sure it's gonna be the Uso versus the Uso match.
I
Uh,
mean, we can take a guess at what they are, but I'm saying as far as being official.
yeah, four. Yeah, so I mean, of all the four, I couldn't care less about any of them. They're all just like throwaway matches for me, in my opinion. I just don't. I don't know. Like, there's not like I don't know what I'm even gonna pick. Like for when we do our splitter matches, I just wouldn't care for anything. Like I don't know. But I don't know. I guess let's get into the matches before I start going on to my tangent about how things are better when Vince is around and stuff. But
Oh, Lord.
the first match was on the kickoff show featuring was for the women's tag team championships, featuring the women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know if they're still called that. I think they are. Asuka and Kairi Sane with Io Sky in their corner against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. At least I believe you're covering this match.
Yeah, so this was get the Aussie on the card match for Indy, and because they've had not her and Candice that is haven't had much momentum as a tag team, so to speak, going in. So just getting a random title shot was just, I guess, random. But we did start off. She did get a nice great pop from the crowd, so that was great for her. A great moment for her. And start off with Candice and Indy kind of being on the strong the strong side of getting over on Asuka and Kairi. But before that, but not too long after that, Asuka and Kairi kind of took over, isolating Candice from Indy. Excuse me, Candice from Indy, and pretty much letting Indy freeze on the apron there until it was time for the hot tag. And then pretty much it almost went downhill after that. With Candice taking an insane elbow from Kyrie to get the pinfall. But like, because I think this match was only maybe like 6 to 8 minutes. But like I said, because there really wasn't any kind of like lead up for this match besides it being announced, I think the night or a few days before, really could a lot. I personally really couldn't get into it, although I like all the players involved. But overall, for the match of what it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I wasn't really into this match. I thought it was kind of boring. It was all right, but I mean, I really wanted Indy Hartwell to win. I love Indy Hartwell, so like I wanted her to win. Especially, I'm pretty sure she's from Australia, right? So it kind of meant something to her. So I wanted her to win, but I love Kairi Sane too. So it was a toss up for me. Then if I had to shoot from the two tag teams, I don't really care much for Candice LeRae, but I do like Asuka, so I guess I would have to go for the Kabuki Warriors in that sense. But between all of them, I like Indy and Kairi the most. So it was all right match. I'm glad they got to Indy got to wrestle in front of her home fans or whatever you want to call them. But you know, it was good. I'm glad they brought back a kickoff match. So like this is a kickoff match. You don't expect much from a kickoff match. Sometimes we have fantastic ones. I remember one time like us talking several years ago about like how the kickoff match was the best match of the night. I think it was like Cesaro and like Sheamus against somebody. I don't know what it was, but like it was like a really good match. And we're like, wow, that was actually the best match of the card. And then they just pretty much got rid of kickoff matches. So it was nice to see one come back and see a hometown favorite to be in the match. But it was a standard match, and I was hoping Indy would finally get a championship, like well at least a main card championship. But didn't happen, and it's all right. Kabuki Warriors will be maybe in like a multi tag match in WrestleMania. The pay-per-view itself kicked off with the women's elimination chamber match featuring Becky Lynch, Naomi, Raquel Rodriguez, I guess we'll call her, even though Triple H called her Raquel Gonzalez at the press conference. And I was like, wait, am I saying her name wrong now? Because I always ask about it every week. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton. And I believe, I'm not sure if I'm wrong about this, but I think all of them are faces except for Tiffany Stratton, which is kind of crazy. They usually at least split, but that was cool to see that they have one heel. The match started out with Becky Lynch and Naomi exchanging a lot of maneuvers, and no one really getting the upper hand until we get our first great spot of the night when Becky drags Naomi to the outside the ring into the cage wall or chamber wall, whatever you want to call it, and Naomi's like, kind of climbing it. Becky stops her. Then Naomi uses her legs to drive Becky's face into the cage chamber wall or chains or whatever you want to call it multiple times. And that was pretty cool. And then once Becky fell on the floor, Naomi came off with one of the best moves of the night. And I'm not a Naomi fan. I never really liked Naomi. I was happy to see her go when she walked out with her like whining self. So she had probably one of the best, like I would say, like one of the best moves of the night when she did that split-legged, whatever you want to call it, the split off the chamber wall onto Becky Lynch on the outside. That was pretty cool. And then the counter timed down, and then in came Tiffany Stratton. Much to the fans' delight, it was probably the biggest pop of the night. And the fans are really behind Tiffany Stratton. For some reason, they love Tiffany Stratton. I have no idea why. I've only seen her a few times, but I like how athletic she is. And it turns out she's a former gymnast. That's what I found out on commentary. I think Graves or Michael Cole said that she's a U.S. gymnast. So I'm like, that's where she gets all this. But she's doing really well. Like, wrestling wise. So that's kind of cool to see. And she dominated. She dominated Becky and Naomi, and she probably was the star of the match in my opinion. She did a lot of cool things and dominated like the majority of the match. Um, and then I think Liv Morgan came in next. I think it was Liv Morgan. Yeah, Liv Morgan was in next, and she went right after Tiffany Stratton because I think they had a match the night prior, or it was actually the week prior. I think it was taped, but they showed it the night prior. And they went at it for a while because I think Tiffany beat Liv Morgan the night prior, week prior, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then I think Naomi did another split leg double, and she went for like a double pin. I think it was on Tiffany and Liv Morgan, maybe. That was pretty cool to see. Trying to think what are some other cool moments that happened. Well, then like Liv Morgan kept slamming Tiffany into both like actual chambers, the pod glass or whatever you want to call it. That was pretty cool to watch. And Liv Morgan looked pretty strong right when she came in. She did some cool maneuvers and stuff like that. Becky Lynch hit the disarmer on Stratton through the chains, and then Naomi went for a sunset flip powerbomb, which looked pretty cool as well. Naomi had some good spots in the match too. Don't get me wrong. And she hit that I think on Becky, I believe. I think it was on Becky. No, to Liv Morgan. And then while she was down and trying to get back up, Tiffany Stratton came over and pinned Naomi for the 1-2-3, and the first person eliminated was Naomi. Then Raquel Gonzalez came back. Then Raquel Gonzalez came in and just dominated with her power, dominated all three women. Then all three women kind of went back at her and tried to pin her at once, but she kicked out of all of them. Then I think Bianca Belair came into the ring and started dominating everyone else. And then she did a face-to-face with Raquel Gonzalez. And, whenever someone comes in, they start dominating for a little while until then, everyone gets against them. And then Liv Morgan was trying to get away. Liv and Raquel fought for a while because, they used to be former tag team partners. And like Will was saying in the chat, Liv Morgan might be turning heel, which you can kind of tell from the way she's been acting in the match. Liv Morgan climbing up the... No, was Liv who climbed up first? Yeah, Liv climbed up the top of a pod to escape, get away from the action for a while. But Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch came up and kind of cornered her. So she had to jump off the cage doing a seated senton onto Raquel, who was laying across the top turnbuckle. That was another cool spot. And then Becky and Tiffany started fighting on top of the pod where Tiffany threw Becky off. And then you knew what was going to happen next because everyone was going crazy, getting up, and you saw all the women kind of getting together outside the chamber, outside the ring on the side of the chamber. You see Tiffany Stratton do a swanton off the top of the pod onto all four women. That was pretty awesome as well. Then I think Morgan hit. I think Stratton tried to go for her moonsault or whatever, but Morgan countered that into her oblivion and pinned Tiffany, and the whole crowd booed and stuff. And Liv Morgan kind of went all boo-hoo, stop crying, And then so now Naomi and Tiffany are gone. So after that, I think Raquel lifted up both Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan into a double Tahana bomb. When that happened, Bianca Belair came up behind Raquel Rodriguez and put her into a KOD and pinned her 1-2-3. So now those three are eliminated. We're left with half the rosters out. Half the matches out. We're left with Morgan, Lynch, and Belair at the end. And they kept having a lot of good back and forth action. And they actually let Liv Morgan look really strong by countering a lot of moves of Becky and Bianca. And then at the end, what happened was, I think Becky went for... No, Bianca went for a... I forgot which order it happened. I think Bianca went for a KOD or something, but Liv countered into a jawbreaker. I think it's supposed to be a code breaker, but it happened a jawbreaker. Then Becky went for the manhandle slam on Liv, and she countered that into a code breaker. And then she kind of rolled out of the ring. That's when Bianca put Becky up in a KOD. Becky countered out of it. And that's when Liv Morgan came up behind Bianca and rolled her up for a 1-2-3, much to the shock of everybody. And as soon as, even to Liv, because she was shocked as she got up, and because she was shocked, Becky came up behind her and put her in a manhandle slam, got the 1-2-3, and Becky is the winner to go on and face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the World Championship. So what do you think, Delisha, of this match?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I think it was a great, I guess, start off for the actual show. And I think that they did a lot of cool spots. I think you already mentioned that Tiffany is the one who came out looking like the star. Um, you can tell that the management is fully behind her, and because she is just like solely, even though she's only technically been on SmackDown for like 2 weeks, match wise, she's already in the ring with like really big heavy hitters and holding her own, which is really important. So she's she definitely has a future ahead of her for sure. Like I said, there was some really great spots, including again Tiff with the perfect prettiest moonsault ever off the cage top, and Naomi doing like the sunset flip off. I think off the top of the pod as well, before she got eliminated. And yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Liv. They might be having her like toe the line a little bit. I'm not the biggest Liv fan, so I'm just uninterested, regardless of what they do. Um, I think also it's good that Raquel came in looking strong. She put in a good performance. I just want her to stop smiling so much. That can we, or you know what? It's not even that. It's just give her a personality. That's the issue. She can smile, but she has no personality besides that, and she has a strong back. That's
Hmm.
all. That's all I can tell you about Raquel. And so, but she looked good in this match, so I was glad for that. And everyone else, of course, they're A-listers in this, as far as the women's division goes. So, of course, they were going to look fine. Becky winning was no surprise. I technically got spoiled on it, but I wasn't spoiled because I expected it. So yeah, it was pretty like predictable on who the one with the winner, but sometimes predictable isn't bad, you know. But yeah, I'm excited to see how we do some lead up between her and the women's champion, because we have some time to play with, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens in between those weeks, between now and Mania.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a mess up or not, but I don't know if it was an edited video, but there's a video of like Corey Graves saying like Becky won the chamber before the match even started. I saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that was a real video or edited. Maybe they edited it so it seemed like it was before the match, but happened after the match. I don't know. But I guess maybe someone could in the chat could debunk it or not. All right.
I think
What?
like no, I think there might be some credence to that. I would have to rewatch the actual match to.
They might have cut it out
Wait,
though in the replay.
oh, that's true. Wait, he said that on the chamber PLE.
Yeah, yeah. Before
Okay.
like at the beginning, before the match started or whatever, I think he said like Becky's gonna go on to face Rhea at WrestleMania, and the match hadn't even, and then like you see Michael Cole saying, "Yeah, that's right. The next match is the women's chamber to see who goes and faces Rhea." Like he correctly like covered it up right away.
Yeah, I feel like I remember like having a moment like, wait a minute, but I don't recall exactly what was said. But that's not. I mean, I unless I'm just what is it, the Mandela effect? Maybe.
Yeah, that could be. All right. The next match is for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, featuring the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day, represented by Finn Balor and Damian Priest, with Dominic Mysterio in their corner against the New Cash Republic, which I didn't even know was a tag team until like the other day, featuring Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Now he's called again. Um, this is crazy because um, Dominic is getting booed so hard, which is crazy. Which is not crazy, which is awesome because he's getting a nice character push, whatever you want to call it, a reaction to his character. But you can't hear him even though he's on a mic with, and like he's talking over the loudspeaker. You can't hear him because they're booing him so loud. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, Dominic was trying to introduce it to Judgment Day, but that's when Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate started attacking the Judgment Day and threw Dominic out. And they went off. They did some really crazy, like, I have to watch the match again because like Will was telling me it was such a good match, and I was like, I thought it was so boring. I think I even fell asleep during it when I first watched it. Um, but yeah, it was actually not as bad the second time around, but I wasn't really that into it either. Um, it was pretty cool to see because like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne had some really cool like luchador type moves watching the match, but they had some good tag team double team moves too to watch. As it went on. Anyway, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne dominated in the beginning until I think Damian Priest made a blind tag. He came in and then they pretty much uh, Priest and Balor pretty much kept Tyler Bate on their side of the ring and dominated him for a while. Eventually, I think Pete Dunne got the tag in, and then everything's went like crazy. A bunch of um, back and forth moves and tag team moves and double team moves and all that kind of stuff. And then I think there's a move called the bitter end that Pete Dunne does. He hit that. Oh, before that happened, there was a really, 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 really long airplane spin that I think it was Tyler Bate had on Pete on Damian Priest, and it was really long. So that was pretty cool to see. Then I think Dunn hit the bitter end on Finn Balor and went for the pin. 1-2. Dominic was supposed to put Finn Balor's foot on the rope, but I think Finn Balor's too far away. So just to get his foot underneath the bottom rope is good enough as a breakup as well. So the referee saw that. And then she saw Dom, like everyone's like, oh, Dom did it. So then she kicked Dom out of the ring, and that's when the screen went black because I guess the whole front row gave him the middle finger. So our feed went black for a while. I don't know why, because it's a pay-per-view, so why can't they show that stuff? Makes no sense. Anyway, he was gone. Then the Newcastle Republic hit a double Tyler driver on Balor, went for the pin, but Damian Priest broke that up, and then they hit the burning hammer, and then Priest kicked out of that. They were pretty much dominating, but I think they were about to go off the top. Newcastle Republic was about to go off the top, but Finn Balor grabbed their leg, which distracted them, and he tagged into the match by doing the same thing. Priest hit a double south of heaven, but then Balor hit the coup de grace, got the pin, and they are still your tag team champions. I keep wanting to say the New Day, but the Judgment Day are still your tag team champions. So, what did you think of this match, Alicia?
Yeah, I enjoyed this match. I keep forgetting because they make Priest look like such a doof with not being able to cash in the Money in the Bank that I keep forgetting that he actually can make a good match out of with himself. In the ring, especially when he's with top tier like talent such as I guess you can count Finn as well, but with Bate and Dunn. I'm not sure how I feel about the tag team name. Um, it's a lot to say when if like you're like trying to like push them or whatever. It's also very similar to the faction on NXT, which I forget their name. But it's the same like idea. But anyway, but I understand them not wanting to go with their original name of British Strong Style without their other stablemate Trent Seven not being in the company. But I get that part. Um, but yeah, I they really have the crowd going. Even though we kind of all figured like Judgment Day was gonna win, there was a lot of close calls. We were like, oh, I mean, they might do it. You never know. And the crowd was really behind them. And I remember in the moment being like, why is the screen blacked out? Like, what happened? Did someone knock over the cameraman? Or why aren't we going to a different, angle? And then I saw online they were like the crowd were flipping off top. But I think they what blacked it out because they also have to appear to their sponsors and things like that. But that's the only thing I could think of why they would keep it out for so long. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It was a great like I guess coming out party for the re-emergence of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, and I mean, it was a good showing for Judgment Day too. I also saw that there was actual concern for Finn Balor's like fingers or something like that, or they thought he actually was like injured for a little bit, but it looks like he'll be okay. But yeah,
No,
be interesting.
apparently what happened was I think it was they talked about it in the chat. I think it was Entertainer somebody who said it in the chat this morning
Oh,
in our wrestling chat that when he did the coup de grace, he landed on his thumb and it broke his thumb. So you could see it bleeding, like it broke. Like after he hit the coup de grace and like he fell forward, his thumb went like that and it bent and broke. I think so.
all that sweat.
So yeah, so I think it's just not
But
a.
I
I
guess
don't think
in
it's a
a way
safe move to do.
it also helped a little bit sell
Yeah, the Pete Dunne
Pete
thing.
Dunne as well.
But yeah, I mean that's a dangerous move because I feel like you can never land properly on that because you don't know if your ankle's gonna roll, if you fall forward, and if you're gonna hurt the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I don't know why he
No,
does
the
that
human
move.
body is not a flat surface.
Yeah, and the sweat, like you were saying, and all that. All right, this brought us up to our next event. Not really a match. It was a Grayson Waller effect with Austin Theory on it as his partner, whatever you want to call it. And the guests on it were Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Nothing much really happened. They were just kind of teasing Cody and Seth the entire time. They being Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Then Austin Theory got on the mic and started interrupting and started, saying like, you guys should be acknowledging the tribal chief and all that kind of stuff. The only thing that really happened is Cody was saying like, I'm so sorry to The Rock. I feel bad. I'll let him kick my ass one night. So he said basically you can fight me in a match anytime you want, Rock, and kick my ass because I feel bad for how I treated you and how my fans treated you. That's basically what happened. And then like Austin Theory got on the mic and started talking crap, and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes weren't having it. Seth Rollins, I think, pushed him, and then Cody hit the Cody cutter, and then Seth Rollins hit the curb stomp, and that was pretty much it. But you did see a little dissension between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory when Austin Theory took away the mic from Grayson Waller and interrupted his show. So that's probably interesting to see. Maybe we'll see a match between them at WrestleMania as well, because they'll be like, kind of getting, I think Grayson Waller is slowly turning heel. I mean, face. I mean, from what I see, like off this Australia tour, even though it was his home, maybe that's why he was kind of face-ish. But I mean, he might be turning face eventually. But yeah, it was a pretty stupid segment. Nobody really cares about Cody and his story and anything like that, or Seth Rollins. So it was a very boring segment. What do you think, Alicia?
So Grayson didn't help his buddy out while he was getting
Yeah.
cursed. But yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. It, I mean, it's pretty much what the same thing you would have gotten on any other like SmackDown or whatever. So it wasn't anything like special, so to speak. It was just it was for because it was his hometown, which I have no problem with. Show them a little love, especially they don't come to Australia. I don't think they go every year, especially on a big premium live event or even some of the live shows. Like maybe they've got a house show, maybe on like a international tour. But yeah, show them some love. No problem with that. And we needed get some time together to get the next chamber coming up.
Oh yeah. So Will goes on to say that it was after the chamber that Corey Graves says Becky Lynch will go on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, but Nia Jackson match didn't happen yet. So that's when Michael Cole goes, or it could be Nia Jax. So I guess I don't know. I guess it's not as much of a mess up as when I think it was like HBK that ruined that match back in the day, and he said Jericho was going to win the entire thing, and the whole crowd goes oh, and then like he goes or whatever the other person was, but it was actually Jericho who ended up winning. But yeah, that was even worse. All right, the next match is the men's elimination chamber match for the right to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, featuring Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and Max Dupree.
Sure. Yeah, so we started the night with LA Knight and McIntyre. I mean, that was pretty much just them going after each other. With like with them two involved. I think McIntyre was like smashing. No. Knight was trying to smash Drew's head into the pod that Kevin was at, and well, Kevin was just hyped up the whole time he was in the pod, including bashing his own head against the pod when Logan Paul was coming in, had his entrance coming in. Speaking of, he Owens was the next guy out, and pretty much did all the Kevin Owen things, and with all three men just being the quote unquote prize fighter that he is. And then next up was Lashley. Quick note: I was talking to my friend when Randy came out in his entrance and he stood on top of Bobby's pod to do his like pose or whatever, and like Bobby was standing there with like his hands on his hips, and I said, "Dude has never looked more like an action figure while he's standing in that pod." I don't know. That was just a quick aside because Bobby Lashley is like I don't know. He's on another level when it comes to his physique. But Lashley was the next man out, being I guess he could technically be considered the strong man of the group just because of his size and his strength, obviously. Um, excuse me. And pretty much it was just a powerhouse battle between him and McIntyre against Knight and Owens before there was the next entrance coming out. And sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. She is nowhere near this office. She is downstairs. I think she's upset. She got put away while they're eating dinner. But but next out was Randy Orton, who came out of the gate with DDT going on to I forget who he put that on, but and then after I just remember afterwards him clutching his back, and that would be Randy's story throughout the rest of the chamber is him doing moves and clutching his back. Um, uh, pretty much, just pretty much like your standard multi-man match going on with people trying to hit their moves, or the pace kind of slowed down a little bit, and when eventually when Logan Paul came out, um, I think I I can't remember if Randy was already out and Logan was taunting him through the pod, but like Logan was talking shit the whole time while he was in the pod. He had a dry erase marker. I presume it was dry erase. I don't know if it was permanent or not. Just drawing stuff, trolling everyone. So I think pretty much everyone was keen to get their hands on him, but in addition to Kevin Owens, who really wanted his hands on him, but I think Owens was trying to hurry the pod open with Logan trying to um keep it close. I feel like we get that almost every chamber match. Besides a high spot off the pod, you get someone not wanting to come out and someone having to force them out. But immediately Owens, of course, was on this guy as they are the ones in our current. Well, I guess not a current food, but they got beef. Well, Logan has beef with everybody on the roster. All I guess all the babyface on the roster. But eventually, um, I guess for the crowd's sake, Logan Paul will get his comeuppance for all the taunting and just pretty much um, heel assholeness of his whole persona as Lashley speared him through the plexiglass, and then after that, McIntyre would hit Lashley with the Claymore, and he would be the first man out. And then after that, LA Knight tried to do or he did hit the BFT on the McIntyre, but as he was going for the pin, out of nowhere comes AJ Styles with a chair, just pretty much taking LA Knight out, which allowed McIntyre to come over and pin Knight to get out. And then after that, we got some stunners from Owens, who then also got an RKO from Orton. I don't. Do we count that as out of nowhere? I don't know. I always forget how do we actually count them, even though Cole will say it every time. But Owens would then get eliminated with Randy still clutching his back. Oops. Um, and then we did have Logan trying to use, I guess now, his signature brass knuckles, but he didn't get a chance to use them. As Orton, I think this one came in for an RKO, and to pin him to get him out, and which just left Orton and McIntyre, which kind of turned into like a one-on-one match for about a few moments. But McIntyre did a spinebuster onto Randy, which left Orton down again. Like I said, like he was doing the whole time, clutching his back. But he was able to get RKO out of nowhere onto Orton and went for the pin. Could have happened, but Logan Paul came out of nowhere. I guess that's. I guess you should take a shot every time I say out of nowhere. Hitting him with the brass knuckles, so he did get to use them, just not in the way he probably wanted them to, which took out Orton, enabling McIntyre to get the win, and he will be the one to face Seth at Mania, which I think post Punk injury we all figured would be happening. Pretty much because Drew was in his element right now of being a complete troll, not only on the mic on Raw but also on social media. So I'm actually really interested or excited to see the promos between them two because I think it's gonna be really fun. Also I guess with Logan getting involved, we're setting up some more potential matches for Mania, or I guess along the way. I keep forgetting there is that Saudi trip coming up, so make this for that instead. Between Logan Paul and Randy, which I guess will be interesting to see. And also we still have AJ Styles and Knight continuing their feud or beef with each other from the last couple of weeks. And Kevin Owens will be left to do something in the meantime. I don't know. But did you actually like this chamber match? As you watch it, or and do you agree with McIntyre being the one that faced Steph at Mania?
No, I did not like this match. I thought there's nobody like worth watching in this match. Honestly, like it was as much as I like Drew and Randy Orton. I was just like I want to see some new people like get a go. But but I am happy that Drew McIntyre won of all the people in the match. I'm happy it is Drew McIntyre because he deserves that win at WrestleMania with a crowd actually there. Unfortunately, he's not a face, so I don't know if he's gonna get that cheer, but I feel like he deserves it and he should get that thing in front of the crowd. So whether or not he gets booed or cheered, I guess it's a reaction he'll get if he wins. That'll be pretty cool to see. Other than that, I thought this match was awful because like there was nothing spectacular. It's not like remember like Montez Ford like would climb up the top and jump off of it, or like was it like one of those luchadors, like it was like El Generico or one of those. I forgot what the guy's name was. A Grand Metalik or one of those dudes kind of like did monkey bars all the way top and did like a shooting star press off the top of the chamber, like from hanging from the top. That was awesome. We saw like I thought Logan Paul was gonna do something cool, but all he did was stuff cruel. Like he's drew stuff, which is kind of funny. Like what was saying, all the stuff he drew, but like he didn't do anything cool. Like it was stupid. Like he's very athletic. I thought he would do something cool. Put Ricochet in there to see some cool things. Like we don't need Kevin Owens in there. Like we don't need Max Dupree in there. Like put like Ricochet in there and let's see some cool things being done and then let Chamber. So this is two pay-per-views in a row where I'm happy to see and happy to say the women outshine the men in their respective men women matches. The women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's Royal Rumble by far, and now the women's Elimination Chamber was 10 times better than the. This is probably one of the worst men's elimination chambers I've ever seen. Not only because of the contestants, but also what happened. And nothing happened. Nothing exciting happened. You had to have two people come from outside the chamber just to make something happen. Like AJ Styles, coming to do something, and then Logan Paul coming back to do something. And he did something last year, didn't he, in the chamber? So like it's like 2 years in a row, Logan Paul's like come back and interfered, kind of thing. It was nothing like new. It wasn't spectacular. I did not enjoy this. Like I said, it's probably one of the worst chambers I've ever seen. So yeah, but the women's one was great. This men's wasn't that good at all, if at all. But I'm happy Drew won. I hope he gets his moment at WrestleMania because he's got to finish his story. If anybody's finishing his story, it should be Drew McIntyre because nobody cares about Cody. That brings us to the final match of the night. Oh, yes, can I say?
That did remind me of wanting to mention that I kind of wish they would kind of alternate. I know this wasn't the main event, but kind of when it comes to the like, I guess like gimmick matches like these, like let's say last year the men's rumble or chamber was like the last match, so to speak. The next year I feel like it should be the women's because I mean, they both consistently do put on good shows. Even and like you said, the last two times I agree the women did outshine the men. I think it's because also the women still always have something to prove
Mm-hmm.
because they're always like, oh yeah, you guys go on first with this for the booking gimmick matches. But I would like to see that more alternating between the two of having the women go on last. As this match showed, I know she was the home town like crowd champion, so to speak. But I mean Rhea is just over no matter where she goes. But like the women are showing like they can main event a PLE.
No, they're not.
And
If you're concerned with this pay per view, no, they're not. But go ahead.
yeah, no, well, we'll talk about that. But I'm just saying, like they can put on a good match and not have to be relegated to either opening or be the match that gets the crowd like hyped up, or so to speak. Or I just say, especially when it comes to the gimmick matches like these, like EC Rumble, Hell in a Cell. Even though I don't think we have that as a pay per view anymore, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, well, the Royal Rumble that we at Philly that I was at with you, like the women were in the final match, but that's because Ronda Rousey was supposed to come out.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also because Ronda Rousey was coming out, right? So that was kind of a thing. But like, no, yeah, I think what happened here is they thought the men had more star power because the people in the match. So that's why it was like sexist, and they put them last or second for the two chambers. But the women like blew this night away. The women's chamber match blew this night away. They clearly should have, but we don't know going in like what's going to be a better match. Obviously, I think by star power. What?
I was gonna say I disagree with you on saying that this was like the worst chamber match. I haven't gone back and watched previous ones, but I'm pretty sure we could come up with another one.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
I didn't mind the men's match. I mean, with because of the guys who were in it, it was going to be more strongman. I I can lift all the guys,
Right.
so to speak, type of match just because of who was involved. Um, and also another trope of chamber matches is someone going through the plexiglass. That's another trope that you can make a
Yeah.
video part out of.
Yeah. So in the chat right now or at me on Twitter, if there was a worse men's chamber match in history than this, let me know. Because the only one I can really remember is like the first one where Shawn Michaels won. That was, I think, good, even though I don't like Shawn Michaels. And then the other one I can remember when Edge lost the beginning of the night and then won the end of the night, and that was pretty cool to see. And then like one where Edge cashed in as well. That was the first ever cash in after a chamber. Like, they were really cool chamber things. I think I just don't remember like this anything being as bad as this.
Would disagree with you that this was a terrible match. It might say it was predictable outside of the AJ and Logan Paul coming back out of it. Like it might have been like maybe predictable, but again, like I said, predictable doesn't always mean bad. Um, but it's like it's like we hit all the notes we to get to the result that we needed to get to in order to get to the matches that we want. Creative saying this, not me. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, if someone said you have to watch this match again, I wouldn't like be mad at it.
I would.
Like
I
we
would.
were
I wouldn't
looking
watch
at
it. I wouldn't watch it again.
I said if I was forced to, I
I,
wouldn't
I,
watch
I probably wouldn't be forced to. I don't know what you'd have to do to me to make me watch this match. All right. Speaking of matches, it brings us to the final match of the night for the women's. No, what's it called the women's world championship, featuring the women's world champion Rhea Ripley, hometown or not hometown, but home nation Rhea Ripley, against Nia Jax. Which it's funny because now they call her the irresistible force, but like, isn't she the immovable object? And like Rhea Ripley's the irresistible force. I don't know, because they always used to say when Hogan met Andre the Giant, it was like Hogan's the irresistible force, and Andre the Giant's the immovable object. Where I guess they can't say that about a woman in this case, but in this case, instead of calling her the irresistible force, Nia Jax should be the immovable object just because of her like her physique and like how
Well, I
she
think
dominates.
well maybe because it was also small one, but no, they've always called Nia Jax that though.
The irresistible force.
I think like it's been in her old. Do we still call it a Titantron? Do we still call it
Yeah,
that?
Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I feel like
Titantron.
that had been in her entrance play out.
Right. No, but that's because they can't say immovable object. That would look really bad on a woman. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the whole point. But she is the immovable object, whereas in this match, Rhea Ripley is the irresistible force. So I don't know what you did for this match because I know you're a fan of both Nia Jax as well as Rhea Ripley. So I'm sure you were
I
torn.
mean, my fandom from Nia kind of waned progressively throughout her career. It's come a little back up, but it's not as where it once was. I don't even I think I gave away her t-shirt. I don't know.
Well, anyway, I know you're covering this match, so go ahead.
Unsurprising to no one, the crowd was red hot for Rhea. As you said, we are in her home country. I mean, like I said, the love for mommy is universal, but especially in Australia down under for her like what was that home country? I keep wanting to say hometown, but she's from Adelaide, not Perth. But very quickly it became apparent that Jax was going to be the takeover force in this match, grounding Rhea with some strikes. Rhea actually kind of went back to her earlier days of being more of a faster paced worker with like leg drops and drop kicks and things like that to show more her athleticism versus her being because I guess technically she is usually the dominant woman in the match because everyone is usually pretty much more slimmer unless she's going up against like Bianca or something like that. But a lot of her last couple opponents have been much smaller, so she has been the dominant one. But the tables got turned because, of course, Nia is bigger, and they would say stronger, but although not really, I think pound for pound, I think Rhea would outshine her in that regard. Um, but the action would soon spill to the outside, where also Nia would start taunting Rhea's family, who was sitting front row, or some of her family, not her whole family, but some of her family who were sitting front row, including her parents. Which, of course, when you're the heel and you know their parents are in the audience, or especially if they're sitting front row, you gotta taunt them. You can't not do that. You have to. That's like heel 101. Even though technically Rhea is heel too,
Yeah.
but not in this instance because everyone's cheering. But Nia then would try to drop Ripley onto the commentary desk with a Samoan drop, and then giving her a splash through the table, and then try to get her back into the ring for I think they call it the Annihilator. But Ripley kicked out, and then managed to get out of it with the superplex. I guess also in this case, you definitely will call it a superplex with Nia being your opponent, um, which actually enabled her to set up the Riptide and retain their championship. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about it. While this probably wasn't main event caliber, just because it is Nia and she is still pretty limited in the ring and what she can do. Although she seems to be better this time around, and do we? Is this her second stint technically?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, third if you
Yeah.
count coming back from injury, right? But if you're,
Okay.
if you're talking about being let go, then it's your second stint. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, but it is Elimination Chamber, so I guess all the focus is on Chamber. But with it being Australia, the focus is on Rhea. I do think it was a nice change of pace to see Rhea be on the like the underdog sort of person in this match because she's going up against a Nia Jax. Like I did like that aspect of her having to fight from behind, so to speak. But overall, as a match, it was just fine. But with her being in her hometown, it really did amp up the emotional aspect of this match. But it was fine. Like I said, maybe not main event worthy. But I do think it hit all the cards that it needed to set up Rhea as. I mean, we already knew she was credible, but as her being able to fight a bigger opponent, so to speak, and get through it, and um, turn this woman face already.
Um,
Just let us cheer for her like we want to.
I don't know. I just thought it was pretty bad. And like you said, I don't think it was on Rhea Ripley as much because you're saying it's only so much good with Nia Jax. I did like the what is it the springboard Hurricane Rana kind of thing that Rhea Ripley started the match out with, but Nia Jax didn't take it well. Like Nia Jax just like kind of like stumbled after it. Like she didn't like go down. She didn't like flip forward and you know when someone does a Hurricane Rana, you kind of like flip or something, or you fall into the ropes, kind of like setting up for a 619. But like Nia Jax being so the immovable object kind of thing, she didn't really do any favors for Rhea Ripley in that sense. So though there's a new moveset kind of a thing for Rhea Ripley, um, like it just didn't look good. After that, another thing is I did like seeing Nia Jax work the submissions, she did like the like where you hang the person's leg over their head and like kind of put all their body weight on their knee kind of thing. That was pretty cool. That they turned that into a single Boston Crab. That was cool. She did like this the where she puts her foot on the back and pulls her arms. I don't know what that move's called. That was pretty cool. So the submissions Nia Jax did was good. That was about all Nia Jax did well. Now the thing what I can't fault Rhea Ripley for, or in a way, if she's meant to look like a powerhouse and all that kind of stuff, like she's supposed to be a strong lady and powerhouse, like that Riptide was awful, right? The Riptide's like you're supposed to pick him up, put him over, and then slam him down. She barely picked Nia Jax like not even a foot off the ground, and then put her down. If you're supposed to be the powerhouse, like, and I don't care if you're a man or woman or anything. If you're supposed to be the powerhouse, show that power off. Because you could say the same thing about guys, where uh, Goldberg has put Big Show into a jackhammer, or Cena's put like 3 guys on his back and did that. They're supposed to be powerhouses, kind of thing. It's different weights, so it should not make a difference because obviously Big Show's a lot bigger than Nia Jax, so it should like scale. It should scale like John Cena's strength compared to Big Show's weight, where you have a Rhea Ripley strength compared to Nia Jax's weight. So I think it should like that. Rhea Ripley being a powerhouse did not show in this match, and she's supposed to be a powerhouse for women, right? That's her thing. She's like huge and jacked and stuff. So I didn't like that. Like that was an ugly Riptide, and that's how she won the match. This is more like a kickoff match or like a SmackDown or Raw match, whatever. I don't know what brand they're on. It was awful. This shouldn't have been last. I understand why it was last, but what they could have done is had the women's chamber last, this to be second to last, and then have Rhea Ripley come out. They could raise the chamber with Becky celebrating, and then Rhea Ripley comes out and gets face to face, and that's what you see to end the night for the last pay per view before WrestleMania. That would have been cool to see, as opposed to, I mean, I don't they want to give Rhea her moment. Yes, I understand that, but this match was just awful in my opinion. It was just terrible, and I don't know what was worse. This or the men's chamber. That the it declined. Chamber like declined as the pay per view went on. Like it was just terrible. So I don't know. I think maybe the men's match was worse than this because I expected more from a chamber match. This I didn't expect much from. But if you're gonna have Rhea Ripley be a powerhouse, show that. So, but I know. Also, Nia Jax, I know, I get it. But they're always talking about how the power of Ripley, the power of Ripley, the power of Ripley. Well, where's the power? That's what I have to say about that. Anything else to say about this match, Alicia? Because I know Rhea Ripley is the girl, so I want to give you a chance to defend her. Or what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be sometimes competitors just they lack chemistry, so maybe that could also be a factor. Um, I don't know, like, because I didn't have the same feelings about. I mean, it didn't scream main event to me, but it wasn't like I said, it wasn't terrible. Again, if you force me to watch it, I could get through it. I guess that's not something you want to hear about your match. But yeah, I think the way I don't know who what's the word for it? I don't know who wrote this match. So it could have been also the way that they told him how to work this match. They worked it with Rhea being the underdog because of Nia's size. Um so that I guess also so that she could get cheered more. I don't which again isn't needed because she could just punch the air and the crowd's gonna cheer for um but yeah, as far as any other notes on this match, it was
Yeah. Well, Kobe Bryant just joined the chat. Hello, Kobe Bryant.
fine. Wow, from heaven itself.
Yeah. Talk
Wow.
about Philly's great Kobe Bryant. If you don't know, he's the lower from went to Lower Marion High School from the Philly area before he was
Yeah.
drafted to the Hornets and then traded to the Lakers. But anyway, draft day trade. Um, yeah, I I don't know. This just really upset me because I like Rhea Ripley as well. So I just I don't know. I want to say it's Nia's fault, but don't keep talking about Rhea Ripley getting such a powerhouse and then not being able to do her own finishing move on anybody. Kind of thing.
She doesn't hit it perfectly every time.
Right.
Um, like a lot of wrestlers, they don't always hit it. Uh, Especially in a moment like this. I would have to look. I don't know if she just didn't get her feet right or in her like her body set to pick her up. I mean, I couldn't do it. So yeah, I would have to look at it again to see like where it possibly went wrong, or it just could have been the way she picked her up and how momentum went, and she just
Right.
couldn't get it as she normally would. Also, she hasn't faced a bigger opponent in a while,
Right.
so also
But yeah, it's
she
all
might.
it's 50-50. It's not only Rhea's to do. It's Nia Jax's to accept taking that move properly, right? So, but think about how that place would have exploded if she had picked her up and did the proper riptide to Nia Jax. That place would have went
Yes, it
crazy.
was similar to
Andre Bay
Bianca.
picked.
I was
Well,
about
yeah,
to say Bianca hitting the KOD on Raquel or Jade lifting. Not
right.
did she lift?
She looked at
Somebody
somebody. Yeah, yeah. They both did gorilla
she
presses.
did. She
Yeah,
did lift
both.
Nia. I just can't remember if it was an overhand press or
Oh no,
she
was it
lifted.
Nia? Oh yeah, no, no. She just picked up Nia and threw her out. I'm talking about
Yeah. Oh,
no, yeah. Someone she and Bianca both picked people up and faced each other with their gorilla press. But what I'm saying is, those moments where a big person's lifted, like when Big Show was jackhammered by Goldberg and all that stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I think Big Papa Pump actually did press slam Big Show like back in WCW, like he went like that and then dropped him, like it was crazy. So like those kind of moments, the crowd goes nuts. So I would love to have seen that. I think that was the whole point of what was supposed to happen, but it just didn't work out well, and that kind of took away a lot from what I felt at the ending because I wanted that moment for Rhea Ripley in her home. But
yeah.
all right, that brings us to our finishers, which is what is your low point, your high point, your overall grade, Delisha?
Low point. Probably just the Grayson Waller effect, just because it really served no purpose except for to get all four of those on the show. So, to do something and get cheered or booed or what have you. High point is for me definitely the tag team match. That match I think stole the night for me. I even wore like my Pete. You can't see it, but my Pete Dunne bruiserweight shirt just because. Well, he's also one of my favorites, but they really put on a great match. And overall grade, honestly, I'll just give it a B minus. Like I did enjoy the show. And there might have been some points where there was like lulls, but that was bound to happen because of what, especially because we had multiple multi-person matches. Like there's always a lull at some point. But yeah, overall, I didn't mind it.
Believe it or not, the low point. Well, Will says the low point is a Rhea Nia match. I don't know if did he say his high point yet. I might have missed it. Look.
Tag
Oh, high
match.
point is a men's tag match. He said his overall grade will probably be a B, B something, knowing Will.
Yeah.
And what'd you give it? You give it a B? Yeah, B minus. Will gave it. Would you give it to Alicia? B plus?
I'll also give it a B minus.
Oh, B minus. Okay. For me, my low point was the men's elimination chamber. The high point was the women's elimination chamber. I think that was the best we've seen in a long time of any chamber match, men or women. I really enjoyed it. And overall grade, I'll give it a D. D like David. That was awful. The pay per view, I thought it was terrible. Only 4 matches. 4 matches. On the actual card itself, not the pre-show. 4 matches on the card. A Cody segment that nobody cares about. Stuff like that. Like, it was just terrible. Like, I don't know. There was nothing good about it except for the women's. The only thing that saves it is the women's elimination chamber match. So, uh, but yeah, that's about it. Delisha, I know you've been taking a little bit of time off, but anything that you want to plug or anything like that, or where you can find
Yeah,
you?
that's two in a row. I think we really greatly disagreed on the pay per view.
Mm-hmm.
Our friendship is fractured. No, yeah. So I had taken a little bit of a break from posting on YouTube, mainly due to life, and also I think yeah, I made that public now that I was also wound up expecting our second child, and I was really sick for a few weeks or a few months, and there was nothing for me to post. But I am working on 2 videos coming up within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned to that. That will be Instagram and YouTube, Delisha Renee TV. So I'm kind of excited to get slowly back into the swing of things of making content, but it is still hard because I work full time. I am also a mother to a rambunctious toddler who does not want me to have a life. No, I'm just kidding. And now, with baby number 2 coming, it's like hectic all together. So, but I am excited to get back into the swing of things of doing something, even if it's not maybe weekly like I was used to doing. But we'll get some stuff out there.
Yeah, Entertain said he didn't know it was early. Will got up at 6 a.m., but he couldn't rewind it. I myself got up at 5:30, and I was like, "Oh man, I missed it." I woke up at 3:30. I'm like, "Oh, I could probably sleep for another half an hour because I don't care about the kickoff show," and then or an hour, and I ended up waking up again at 5:30. And I was like, oh, I can't rewind it. I actually turned it on and started watching, but I couldn't rewind it. So I was like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything because I don't want them to say like who won the earlier match without me going through it, kind of thing. So, um, I
I
did.
don't know why they took that feature away because last year, like earlier last year before, you could like rewind it and go back to the start of the live show. Um, and then it takes like a few hours for them to put up the replay. So you're like, I can't even rewatch it as soon as it's done. It
Um,
was annoying.
Yeah, I know, because I remember you were always saying like how you were starting a little bit later than me, and you'd be catching up and letting me know when you're catching up and stuff. So, when we talk about it through text and stuff, so I don't know why they got rid of it either. Maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe because it was such a weird time that why they couldn't have like the regular
They
staff working it.
they took that feature away.
Oh, it's good off. Okay, well then I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, Will says congratulations on the second child. Yes, I'm sure we'll see a video about their journey with the second child and all that, and that like you did that one for Rose originally. Um, the pregnancy journey that you had for the first for Rose, and now I'm sure we'll see one later on. So stay tuned for that on our channel. Like I said, her links in the description below. As for me, I don't think there's any Genshin or anything else I'm streaming lately or Honkai wishes that I'm going to stream late like that. But I will be on Will's channel tomorrow. I think we decided 1 p.m. Eastern on the Will Firefox. He's also in the description below under sponsors. Make sure you check him out. We'll be streaming A Way Out together. It's like a co-op prison escape game kind of thing. So come check that out at 1 o'clock. But I think we're gonna go through the whole game tomorrow because it's only about 4 to 6 hours depending on how fast we get through some of the puzzles. So come check us out for that. And then the next time you'll see us here on AfterMat is for WrestleMania, which is one of the big ones, the biggest one, I guess. It's a 2-night event. April 6th Saturday and April 7th Sunday. We'll be live April 8th on Monday. but it might be a lot earlier. I'll discuss with Alicia when the earliest she can get off from work or whatever it is, or what the situation with her health and all that is. But it's gonna be like probably maybe anywhere from like 11 to 19, 20 matches. Who knows? So if anyone wants to join us and help us split up the work for that, let us know. DM us if you want to join us for that. Cover a few matches or something. Let us know for that. But yeah, we'll pop.
We might have mentioned it last pay per view, but in the Triple H era, a lot of the PLE so far have been very like tight and pared down versus past PLEs. I don't think I think WrestleMania will still have 15,000 matches on it, but I feel like because of the way it seems like his creative mind goes, it's gonna be a much tighter show. So I don't know. We'll pay attention to see if that was actually correct. And it's starting earlier instead of I think 8. It's starting at 7.
It started at 7 for WrestleMania. Usually 6 has been the pre-show. They make it 4 hours each night. That's how they do it.
I thought. Never mind. I was just trying to remind people, but it was a special time. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, because I think that's just how it is. Like the other regular ones started. I don't know how they do it anymore, but we'll see. But yeah, just stay tuned to our Twitter about when we're gonna start because obviously it's gonna be a long show and we have guests and stuff. We want to make sure it's even time for everybody and we can all get there on time. But until then, guys, keep slaying with the haters and be the champion of your dreams. We'll see you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.